The New York Vocal Arts Ensemble began nearly 18 years ago, almost by accident. Founder Raymond Beegle put together a performance for friends, and the tour offers came pouring in. The ensemble is known for its unusual repertoire of vocal chamber music, and its purpose is to reestablish this long-neglected classical vocal musical style in the contemporary concert world. The ensemble performs worldwide and has given more than 1,000 concerts. Artistic director Raymond Beegle and the New York Vocal Arts Ensemble join us here on Night Watch, and it's a pleasure to have them. Welcome. It really is nice to have all of you here. Explain the idea behind this. I mean, where do these songs come from, and why haven't we heard them before?
Well, I think they're widely neglected because most singers that can handle difficult music want to sing Aida at the Met. Whereas, you know, if you're a violin player, you're also interested in string quartets as well as being Jascha Heifetz. And I think that's part of the reason. And when the other singers went to the stage, the home music making died out. So anyway, really, this is music that was written to be sung at homes or at parties. A lot of it by the master composers. It actually runs a very wide spectrum from, you know, from the concert hall to the parlor. And it's an interesting thing that genius will out. It might be the genius of Schubert, or it might be the genius of an American small-town homebody that never went to school. But because he expressed what was on his heart clearly and honestly, it was beautiful. And so we like to do this whole spectrum of thing, and I don't think I answered your question about what was the idea behind it.
Raymond, you've done a wonderful job at answering my question. But it was neglected, and we are talking about some of the brilliant composers who also wrote these songs.
Mozart and Brahms and Haydn,
but you also include in your repertoire people like Scott Joplin.
Yes, that's true.
What are we going to hear this morning?
Oh, well, two Viennese pieces and then a Scottish folk song. We'd like to begin with this song by Schubert called Die Nacht, the Night. Should I tell you what it's about, in case everybody out in TV land doesn't know German fluently?
Why not?
The Night. It is about the beginning of spring and how it is so subtle and profound, still gentle and powerful. And it says, it's about a person that looks out at the night and says, as if it were a friend, it says, how beautiful you are. And it says, see how quietly the stars wander in the fields of the heaven, so quietly, and how spring's mildness descends with quiet and brings a crown of moss to the lake and crowns the meadows with flowers.
Your German is very good.
Thanks.
Our stage is yours.
Wie schön bist du, freundlicher, stiller, himmlischer Ruh. Seht, wie die klaren Sterne wandern in des Himmels Augen und auf uns herniederschauen. Schweigend, schweigend aus der Blau, aus der Ferne. Schweigend, schweigend aus der Blau, aus der Ferne. Wie schön bist du, freundlicher, stiller, himmlischer Ruh. Stadt des Glänzes milde Sicht Rede weichem Schoß, kränzt den Silberquell mit Moos und mit Blumen die Gefilde und mit Blumen die Gefilde und mit Blumen die Gefilde und mit Blumen die Gefilde.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. Night Watch continues.
Still to come on Night Watch, more of the New York Vocal Arts Ensemble, The Peace Game, Arafat at Bat, The Art of Rauschenberg, and browsing through a general store. Now in Washington, here is CBS News correspondent Charlie Rose.
We're back with the New York Vocal Arts Ensemble and Raymond Beegle. I'd like to introduce the rest of the quartet.
Fine. You would like to do it?
No, I'd like for them to do it. That's better. Would you
Fine.
introduce yourself
I'm John
respectively?
Arbo.
I'm Jeffrey Fleming.
Karen Kruger. Judith Panel.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Where do you find these pieces?
Oh, these pieces. I was going to say, where do you find these singers?
No,
The
I was
piece is
gonna- I
much
was gonna
easier.
come to
You
that.
press a computer button in the Library of Congress and the pieces come out. Actually, it used to be more difficult.
Yeah.
But finding the singers,
That was my next
that's a
question.
very difficult thing. You know, it is harder to find a singer to fill my needs than it is, I'm sure, for the Metropolitan to find a singer to sing a Verdi opera. I have to find somebody that, this isn't necessarily in the right order of priorities, but one has to find beautiful people,
Right.
intelligent.
You certainly did well on that, yes.
Oh, yes.
Intelligent, too.
And kind.
I can tell they're smart and kind.
And the other thing, yes, they are. And they're like a
Yeah.
bag full of hamsters.
Okay, beautiful,
Really.
beautiful,
They are.
beautiful,
Oh,
intelligent,
oh,
smart, and
yes.
kind.
That are
And what
able
about a
to-
voice?
Oh, the voice. Oh, yes. Well, the thing is, they have to be able to sing in so many different styles, from early, say,
Yeah.
medieval music, up to modern crazy stuff.
And probably they have not been practicing and they have not had a career singing this kind of music
oh,
before.
no, that's true. That's true.
So it all comes new to you, does it not? for most of you?
Actually, most of the music we do is 19th century, and it's very much in the 19th century song style.
Yeah.
But they have to sing in Russian and sometimes Serbo-Croatian and Polish and African sometimes, or Indian, and French and German, and even sometimes English.
And do you,
Yeah.
is this a full-time?
I'd say about a two-thirds of a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sing, Judy is singing in Pennsylvania. She's doing Elijah.
Elijah?
Mhm. Yeah, with
Oratorio
a
and
cast of thousands,
Like
an
that.
orchestra of billions.
What are we going to hear next?
Next, we are going to hear Johann Strauss's own arrangement of Roses from the South.
New York Vocal Arts Ensemble, Raymond Beegle.
Im Wind sind wie bekannt die Paradees. Frau, schauen sehet dein ihr holder Paar. Lieb erwacht, über Nacht in der schönen Rosenzeit. Aus Ratze bis Katze schreit und fängt das Ding bei jedem sich ein. Die Kleine, die Feine und das Mädchen ganz prächtig allein. Jugend, Liebe, rein und wahr, wunderbar, keusche Sehnsucht wird unser Sein. Ein Zauberschaft, süß Geheimnis ruht in der Brust wonniger Lust. Jugendzeit, herrliche, selige Jugendzeit. Blind, nett, jagend gerne, fröhlich, selig, glänzen Augensterne, Kost, Durst, Kerst hat Hände, singt, springt, sorgenlos. Jugend, Liebe, rein und wahr, wunderbar, keusche Sehnsucht wird unser Sein. Ein Zauberschaft, süß Geheimnis ruht in der Brust wonniger Lust. Jugendzeit, herrliche, selige Jugendzeit. Beim Rendezvous, er und sie voll Verlangen. Oh, Liebling, du, und erquickt es und singt es in dir. Alles sein, Sonnenschein, Rosenzeit, Liebesfreund. Wenn das Glück uns Rosen streut. Wie, ach, meine Wien, ach, was Herrliches ziehen in der Rosen, so viel bist dein Haupt, bist dein Heil, und der heiter und lose, erwähnt und schönes Lied. Steht's ja so voll, steht's wohl an und schick singt die Frau, liebe Frau, auf ein Laden des Glücks sitzt der Schmuckkind des Lebens, im Alltag des Lebens, in dem schönen Lied. Hält unsere Frauen, sie flechten und weben, himmlische Rosen sind zierliche Sind denn die irdischen Rosen nicht selber unsere Frau? Und die hat keine Stadt wie mein Herr. La 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 la.
I'm reminded as I listen to that, I think President Kennedy, when Pablo Casals came to the White House, he said, I'm not familiar with this music, but I know it's good, and I know this is good, and I thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here, and much continued success.
Thank you.
The New York Vocal Arts Ensemble, Raymond Beegle. Night Watch continues. Back in a moment. We leave you now with the New York Vocal Arts Ensemble's rendition of A Fond Kiss from a Scottish poem by Robert Burns. For all of us at Night Watch, I'm Charlie Rose in Washington.
And then we sever. Farewell, and then forever. Deep in heart, round tears I'll pledge thee. Warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee. Had we never loved so kindly, had we never loved so blindly, never met or never parted, we had never broken hearted. Fare thee well, thou first and fairest. Fare thee well, thou best and dearest. Thine be ever joy and treasure, peace and joy and love and
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Kurold.
Once upon a time, before phonographs and radios and shoulder-slung tape players, people made their own music. They sang. The great composers expected that their works would be sung by voices they would never hear, trios and quartets of voices raised at get-togethers after the punch and the parlor games. Well, that tradition is not quite dead, we are happy to tell you. Listen.
I have always loved the 19th century repertoire, and I've always loved vocal music. I'm in it because I love the human voice more than any other musical milieu, and I love the piano, and I love to make music.
Spät
The New York Vocal Arts Ensemble has been making music since 1971 when Raymond Beegle, its founder, decided it was time to share with the world the little-known music of the 19th century. The vocal quartets of Brahms and Strauss, the parlor songs of the Victorians. This is lovely music that had all but disappeared until this quartet of voices brought it back. Rehearsals are at Ray Beagle's apartment in New York City. Many a drawing room musicale must have sounded like this once upon a time.
Now, very personal. Yeah, somehow, can you put a little breath in the sound as if you were speaking only to each other right there? 1, 2. That's it, fine. Okay, fine, that's it. Please. Keep your mouths off of each other. Try. All right, let's try from the top again. Parlor and salon music. It was done in the very educated households and the social centers where the great composers came, and also in the humbler homes. Like, for instance, as Blue Danube we're doing, he wrote it for the aristocracy. Strauss wrote the Blue Danube for orchestra and chorus, and all the aristocrats got together and danced. But he also wrote it for a string quartet and for piano and for a few voices, so that the more humbler, simple people could enjoy it in their own home, too. Smiles. Damn you.
Oh, you take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland
The singers are John Arbo and Jeffrey Fleming, Wanda Brister and Judith Pannell. This concert was in Rockford, Illinois.
on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
What am I saying?
Starting out with your gospel numbers.
Right.
Well, the performance, I hope it was a good audience because the
Wonderful audience.
Because the performance was beautiful, really.
Very attentive and packed place.
My only question for you is, why didn't you sing about another half an hour, an hour? It was wonderful. I wanted to listen to more.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It's a wonderful crowd.
Yeah.
They believe us. That is one thing we get everywhere. And I think that's what we like to hear the best. But the main thing is that it conveys something of the human heart. And that's basically the response we get, that people understand it.
The New York Vocal Arts Ensemble is preserving a lovely musical tradition and spreading it to such places as the School Auditorium in Dalhart, Texas. Listening to them makes you think, let's not watch TV tonight. Let's dig the old sheet music out of the piano bench. Let's sing.
From Channel 2. CBS presents The Spirit of a People, a program of Polish Christmas music. Our host tonight will be Raymond Beegle, Artistic Director of the New York Vocal Arts Ensemble.
The words to this lovely old Polish carol are, "Let the earth rejoice, though the night is still dark." And tonight this phrase has more meaning to the Polish people than it has had in many years. For Poland, the night is dark indeed, but we're going to explore in the next few minutes the reasons why they can still rejoice. The reason is, of course, faith. And even those who don't have faith must stand in awe of what a man or a people can do when they have this precious gift. The faith in Christmas, that God himself became a humble man, has given rise to a vast treasury of traditions in Poland. Right here in the United States, they are carried on in Polish churches and monasteries scattered throughout the land. At the Church of St. Stanislaus, Bishop and Martyr, in the old Eastern European part of New York City, they celebrate as if they were in Poland itself. Religious life in Poland is closely linked to its national identity. Church festivals and celebrations provide a means of demonstrating the spiritual power and the unity of the Polish people. One could see this clearly in 1979 when Pope John Paul II visited the monastery at Częstochowa. This year, all Poland celebrates the 600th anniversary of the miraculous icon of the Blessed Mother of Częstochowa, popularly known as the Black Madonna, of which this one at St. Stanislaus is a copy. Many miracles have been attributed to it, including the raising of the dead, the healing of the sick, and the feeding of the hungry. The story goes that St. Luke painted this picture of Mary and the child Jesus on a plank that was part of a table belonging to the Holy Family. The blackness of the faces might be from the paint itself or from the picture's age. It was brought to Poland from Jerusalem during the Crusades and given to the monastery at Częstochowa in 1382. Tradition has it that 40 monks of that monastery held off 2,000 Swedish warriors in the 17th century and turned the tide of a devastating invasion. Ultimately, Poland freed itself completely from this foreign power. The monks were victorious through the intervention of the Black Madonna. Can we believe such things? We don't have enough facts, but we do know that many people believe, although they live in tremendous want and sorrow, and that a symbol such as the Black Madonna of Częstochowa can incite the valor and the strength and the joy of a whole nation. We're celebrating in the Polish tradition here in the beautiful salon of the American Center for Polish Culture. It is known to New Yorkers as the Kosciuszko Foundation, named after the famous Polish general that helped Americans win their war for independence. For almost 60 years, the foundation has fostered goodwill between Poland and America through the great peacemakers' music, art, and understanding. The Aria Choir of New Jersey, whose singing was enjoyed by Pope John Paul during his visit to America, is here with us to bring some authentic sounds of Polish Christmas. Their director, Jerzy Garbień, leads them in the carol Triumphę. In triumph, our Lord has descended to our humble dwelling. In Poland, the Christmas feast begins when the stars appear on Christmas Eve. And afterwards, the devout attend a special service called Pasierka, Shepherd's Mass, or Festival of the Star. Many Polish children believe that their Christmas gifts come from Father Star, and that Mother Star brings them their Christmas tree. Let's listen to the carol Gwiazdka. The Star of the East bids us follow her to where the hope of the world sleeps in a stable. Psychologists tell us that the subconscious records all things we experience, that it even knows how many blades of grass we've seen in our lifetime. It also has the power to connect our past with the present, so that the most unlikely object can fill us with a flood of emotion. Straw, for instance, is of itself not very significant, but the Polish people have a tradition of putting straw under the tablecloth at their Christmas feast, which endows it with 1,000 memories and symbolizes that the child Jesus humbly lay in straw in a manger. The carol that we'll hear now says, "Let us go to the stable and see the Lord lying in a manger." Some countries number among their national treasures human beings, and they even give them numbers sometimes, like National Treasure number 471. Tonight we have a world treasure with us, Teresa Zylscara, one of the great singers of our time, a reigning prima donna of the Metropolitan Opera House, whose homeland is Poland. The grandeur and the beauty and the humanity in her voice erases all national borders and language barriers. We're honored that you will bring us now the voice of Christmas reflected in the words, "In the quiet of the night, a voice from heaven cries, 'Rise up, shepherds, Christ is born.'"
Oh
Serdeczne życzenia wesołych świąt Bożego Narodzenia. Merry Christmas and happy holiday season. Now I would like to sing for you Lulajże Jezuniu.
The English translation of this carol is, "Hush, little Jesus, your mother will ease your sorrow. Don't cry, but look out into the world with your kind eyes and give us your blessing." You know, the story of the Nativity in the Bible is very short and very sparse, and over the years people have embroidered and added to it, sort of filling in the cracks, wondering about all the details, and some wonderful stories have come about. These next two carols are two such tales. The first one is about how Mary and Joseph were so poor they didn't have enough clothes to wrap Jesus to keep him warm. So the Virgin took her own shawl and wrapped him to protect him against the wind. And the second is about the scene of the manger itself, the stable, and how Jesus was lying in the manger, and that the whole stable was filled with the glory of God, and that the angels stood around with wings that looked like rainbows. The mazurka is, of course, the national dance of Poland, and it can express many moods, from the saddest to the most joyful. This one is very, very joyful. It's a carol in mazurka tempo, and it's called Hail Christmas Day. And its rhythm is the pulse of the Polish people, and its message is the message that we all give to you tonight, and that is, the joy of all ages is with us.
Miss Gilles Gara has recently recorded an album of Polish carols for Veritone Records of Poland.
Two all-new holiday specials.